Been feeling kind of chatty lately. I've had a break, few days where I just kind of had nothing to share. Been working on myself, and clearly there's a little result now for all the work that I put in. So a lot of things are coming up for me. And in this video, I want to share my perspective on telling the truth. What is that even like, telling the truth? We often hear like, tell the truth, it makes things better. Does it? Does it make things better on the surface? In relationships, it's tell the person how you feel, tell the truth, it's going to make the relationship better. Will it? Not in my experience. It does make things better for the greater whole. But when it comes to the relationship, the relationship evolves because you tell the truth, your truth. And quite often, in my experience, that relationship ends. It ends because you told the truth. You didn't want to bullshit. You didn't want to pretend anymore or be nice. Say things in a nice way. Well, a lot of times when a person needs to hear the truth, it can't come out nice. It has to come out like a jagged, rusty saw coming at them. It's the only way to get their attention sometimes. I mean, experiences that came into my life that kind of shake me up, they're not nice. Like just last month, a situation came into my life where I was scammed for $1,800. Was that nice? Did that feel good? No. But did I learn? Yeah. Different things, different lessons. So when the truth comes to you, it can't be nice. It can't feel good. It can't be presented in a nice fashion. It just kind of feels like a new common cultural thing. We're told to be nice. I can't stand that word. I can't stand labeling people as nice or a good person. I can't stand that word. Because to me, be nice means you are controlled by me now. The words you use, how you express yourself is controlled now. So you can't really express yourself, what you really are, what your truth really is. So how can you tell the truth if you're told to be nice? Diplomatic even. Sometimes being diplomatic is being aggressive, coming at somebody hard because otherwise they're not getting it. And sometimes it's for somebody else's benefit, like not the person directly. There's other people involved. So I've been kind of processing since my awakening this aspect. Like a lot of starseeds have this ability of seeing the truth, seeing through things, seeing the layers, being the black sheep. Always felt like an outsider. And it was like not even being rejected by the others. It was like actually the opposite. It's like they kept trying to pull me in to be like them, and I was the one rejecting because it didn't feel right for me. And because of I'm rejecting them, I kept feeling like an outsider, like I just don't belong anywhere. I see everything, I can't say anything. They're like, again, tell the truth. They're not going to listen. You try to tell the truth, they get extremely aggressive, extremely defensive. So what's the point? A lot of times when I was true to myself, true to the fact that I saw through things, let's say like with a supervisor, I was right, but it didn't matter because what's interesting is what I've seen like in the academia and in my profession is when you don't go along with the book, it's like a book is written, like what we're supposed to do in a profession. And when you are not going along the book, what is outlined, like I was resisting what was in whatever the adopted strategies are. I was perceived like I was incapable. To them, it seemed like it was an intellect thing, or I'm just not capable of it. And it wasn't the case. Like if I have a client and in my internship and the goals were already written, everything was already done, just do what the previous interns did. And now I'm looking at it like, this is complete bullshit. This is completely useless, even though you've been doing it for years with this client, because this client has been coming for years, paying out of pocket. You think it's fun, it's funny, you have it written down. I look at it immediately, I'm like, this is complete BS. So, but in order to figure out what would be better, it's not like something that I can just come up right away. I need some time to think about it and plan. So in that process, I was viewed like I was in con. Why don't I just like do it? Like it's so simple, right? Like I should just be able to do it. So, but then when I did come up with something, there were consequences. There are consequences to being right with a supervisor, with a friend, because a lot of times when I was right with a friend or a boyfriend, meant that relationship ended. When I set up the boundaries, because I saw that the pattern in their behavior is not even good for them. Because if I don't establish a boundary of self-respect, then they'll just continue, and it's just a habit that they're hurting themselves even more. But that often meant that that relationship ends. And even though they benefit, and later on, like I've spoken to people afterwards, and their life, great, like my exes, they met the one shortly after our breakup. I was all alone, without a friend, without a boyfriend, completely lost, and they're already, they're doing great because I gave them that push. Instead of like clinging to me. So a lot of times, just looking back, being right often left me alone. And whether it was with a supervisor or working in a team, I last year I was doing another master's degree program, and I was in the team. I stepped in because I saw something wasn't right here. It was like we were needed to present. We're like in the middle of the night, still not ready. I stepped in. I guess the guy didn't like the way I was speaking to him. So that was confronting me about that was more important than figuring out the presentation and the work that we needed to do. And I had to come back at him to squash his sensitivity so that we can do the work. And we got it done, and it was very well done and presented. And then I ended up working with this person again, and he made me pay for taking charge, I guess. I wasn't trying to take in charge of the team. I never try to take charge of a team. I'm not the leader type, and I'm not the follower. I generally seems to be the person that steps in when there's like something isn't right, when there's like something chaotic or dysfunctional, and I needed to come in and kind of realign it so that it goes on a nice track. That seems like a common trend that throughout my life experiences. But the leader, the one that just comes in and establishes himself as the leader, not because he's smart, not because he's the one that's most capable, not because somebody said that you're the leader, but it's just some people have that personality. They don't like that. They don't like somebody challenging them, even when they're wrong. So I've had multiple experiences like that. So my instinct to tell the truth, to see through things, it's there, it's coming up again, it's always coming up, but then the fear and the insecurity is coming up with it because of so many experiences of being shut down, and I had to like pay dearly for it. I've lost confidence. So it takes a lot of strength and energy to stick to, the truth, your truth. And a lot of times it leaves you out by yourself. And I often felt left out by myself in the cold, literally by myself, no friends, nobody around, because let's say I depended on a guy, but I saw like this is wrong, so I gave him the push. His life flourished, mine was isolation. Or same thing with a friend. So yeah, I guess I'm working through this now, that just to realize that this ability, it's a gift. It's, some of us are born with that, some of us are born with other gifts. And because I used that gift, but I didn't know how to use it and didn't know how to have proper protection against the whiplash, it developed like a thorn in my heart, that fear that again, I'm going to be left out in the cold, or I'm going to pay dearly somehow for telling the truth. So I guess I was inspired to speak about this because I'm on my own journey right now to remove that fear from my heart. And also with the elections, just watching some inspirational YouTube videos that are some of Trump's speeches that talk about do not be afraid of being an outsider. I was just literally just watching one of them, and to not give up, to even if you're an outsider, and to pursue that. And I think that's the role I see that he plays. He shines the light on the truth, but he doesn't do it gently. You can't do it gently. It's in 35 years, I've never been able to do it gently. And people benefited from that though. Like an ex that I literally brought a 40-year-old man to tears with just a few words. I wasn't trying, it wasn't intentional. And I felt really guilty about it. So like a month later or something, I messaged him to apologize, and he's like, don't even apologize, you did me a favor. It gave him the push he needed. And he met the one. That was 10 years ago, and they're still together. But I lost a friend. He didn't want to stay in touch or anything. So it's kind of hard to have that wisdom of, letting go, letting him be happy. I'm happy for him, of course. But it's like, what about me? So I guess this video is twofold, talking about what it feels like to tell the truth and my experience with it, and trying to now be strong in that ability at 100%. With the work that I've been doing, recognize that this ability is a gift that was given to me, and it needs to be at 100%, without doubt, without fear, without fear of consequences, and that I am protected. I am always protected. I'm always safe. And that is why I need to pursue my truth, as I've been doing, because people have benefited. So it's proof that I do have that ability, and it needs to be developed, and it needs to be at 100%, regardless. So, and Trump is a great role model for that. That's what he's been doing for 4 years, and it clearly has worked and will continue working. What's happening right now, I think, is just some more shining the light on the truth in a very hard way. It's hard to handle it. It's hard not to feel afraid, but you gotta trust in that protection. We are protected. We are safe. There's a plan. It's just shining more truth, and you can shine gently. It's the light is gentle, because it's there. Once you realize the truth, it's there to cradle you, so to speak. It's there to guide you. But to break through those walls, you gotta use whatever tools you can that will work. Is it a sledgehammer or those wrecking balls, whatever it takes to break down those walls needs to be done.